All right, you guys, welcome to JT Livestock Company here in Troop, Texas. This is Royal Ghost King. We call him Pepper, and he is lot number 9, I believe, in this month's premier online sale. If you guys are interested in this horse and you want to register to bid, you can go to Premier Online Sales, and there is going to be a link in the video above in the description where you can register to bid. Tylen is going to ride this horse around right here without a bridle. We're out here on the road. I want you guys to see that this horse is trail friendly. While this horse does have a good handle and he's really nice in an arena setting, he's also a fantastic horse out here on the trail. He is not a spooky horse, and he's not a horse that is going to try to go faster than you want to go. And we just ride this horse around a lot without a bridle. He's a super easy horse. Tylen will turn him around right here. Zoom out. Super nice horse. All right, you guys, he's going to walk him back down the ditch and let you guys just kind of see him. We see lots of horses ridden in the sell ring without a bridle, but down the road, this is a horse that has been really easy for us to work with. He's not had any vices. He has no buck. He does have a lot of voice commands, so you'll hear Tylen and I, when we work with him on the ground or in the barn, we're really good to just tell him whoa, walk, things like that. So today what we're working on right now is just coming up and down the road here. Come here, bear. This car is not slowing down, buddy. So we do want you guys to see it in the open. It's one thing if you want to take your bridle off your horse in a controlled environment. It's different to slip the bridle off in a not controlled environment. So one thing we can tell you is we have ridden this horse in the arena a little bit without his bridle, and he's gotten really soft. And what we're doing today is just doing some trail riding, is riding him in the road and back. And one thing I do want you to know about any horse that comes from us, we do a ton of groundwork. We really like to teach these horses to lunge and move their feet, not because they necessarily need it, but it creates a really good bond between us and them. So one thing that a lot of our horses know is not only whoa, but they also know walk, trot, lope, and I think that's a great thing. I think it's great when you have a horse, you heard Tylen tell him whoa, because we rely heavily on voice commands as well as using our body language. Because here's the thing, when this horse leaves my facility for you guys and you get him home, one thing that we want to make sure is that if you use your hands different than we use our hands, or maybe you you maybe pull and, we kind of lift. One thing that we want to make sure is they have good buttons with the whoa, the walk, trot. So even if you get in a bind or you get nervous and you forget, you can just say whoa. And he's going to walk him kind of back and forth and show you guys that he'll cross the road where the discoloration is. He's not a horse that stops and spooks. And he is a horse that he'll trot him up here to us. And what I like about this horse is when you see right there where you ask him to trot on, he's got a nice low headset. He's not trying to run away or get faster. He's just going to trot at the pace you put him. He'll stay really solid and consistent and soft. And that's one thing I really liked about Pepper since the beginning, is he is not right there. You see him check him down. Look at that. And he's going to check him back down to a walk. Did y'all see how easy that was to just check this horse down, go from a trot out here in the open to a walk? Will you kind of just cross right here and let them see, so that way they see he turns really easy? So just turn him, you can make a little figure 8 or whatever. That way you guys can see. This horse is not a deadhead. He will trot if you ask him to trot. But he also will, turn both directions. You can walk, trot, do whatever. And he is broke enough in just a neck rope that he can go bridleless. And he's a super, super, super sound horse. We leave this horse barefoot. If you wanted to put some shoes on him, if you live in an environment that requires them, that's not going to be an issue. But he is going to stay really sound, and he is traffic safe. We've ridden him quite a bit around right here. We have two sections of land in the center over here where 2 nurseries are that don't have a road that split them. So it's a pretty big section to ride around that square. And what I really like is when we go trail ride, if cars, you saw that car speed by, this horse never ever is concerned about the traffic. He doesn't try to jump away from traffic. He's not an impatient horse. Will you step on and off of him so they can see he's not an impatient horse? If you step on or off of him, he's going to be really quiet to do so. Dogs are on two sides of the street here, and what I know is that if dogs come running out barking, this horse isn't going to grab his butt and run off. If cars don't slow down, you're still safe. This horse has been used in a feedlot. You can rope and doctor cattle on him, but we've really just mainly focused just making him a really gentle horse. If you have kids or you have a spouse that needs something, and you want to maybe be able to go do something performance wise, but you also need a gentle enough horse, your spouse that's maybe not as horse friendly, this is a really good candidate for that. Good job, Pepper. Good boy. So like I said, the bridleless thing is something that's getting newer to him. He's been ridden 3 times without a bridle. I mean, it's just been 2 or 3 times. Lots of people can ride their horses in a really small closed environment, but this horse, you can drop the bridle and go trail ride him. He is very concerned about what you're asking. He does want to pay attention to your seat and your manners. You know, when I say your manners, like if you are somebody that will be patient with him and say, hey, Pepper, let's trot on, he is really going to pay attention to that. And he knows walk, trot, walk on, trot on, lope off, just with a little cluck. And so you don't have to kick or whip this horse to have him pick up speeds. Obviously, in a cell ring and in a small closed environment, he would look crazy good without a bridle, but I want you guys to see that if you go ride him down the road without the bridle, he stays just as broke out in a uncontrolled environment. And he really pays attention to your body language, and he's the one horse in our barn that can read the room, meaning if we put a baby on him, he is the most gentle horse in the barn. If he knows that we've saddled up, slapped the back cinch on, and we're going to go rope something, this horse is, you know, he'll have a little more pep in his step and he's ready to go to work. And I love a horse that has good, quiet manners, that's really soft and sweet. We're good. My neighbor. But I do want you guys to see that as far as traffic goes, super traffic safe horse, unproblematic, could care less about all of that. And again, can really read the room. If you step on him and you tighten your back cinch and you swing a leg over him and you're going to go rope cows and you need to doctor calves, you have a lot of speed and a lot of athleticism with this horse. But if you turn around and you want to put your babies on him and they're just going to go ride him around and they're little bitty, this horse right here can read the room. He knows the difference between a job and trail riding, and he can do whatever. He's got a ton of athletic ability. Tylen, will you put the bridle on him? That way people can... I do want y'all to see he does ride equally as soft and quiet in a bridle. It's not necessary. But if you want to bridle him and ride him, he is an unproblematic horse. The great thing about this horse, when you go to put the halter on him and put your hand over his neck, he puts his head right in the halter for you. He's very, very unproblematic. I like that he'll keep his head low to accept the bridle for you. He picks up all 4 feet fantastic. This horse could do anything. It doesn't matter if you wanted to have a horse that you want to take home and start on the calves and maybe, you know, have a little calf roping horse, maybe a breakaway horse. If you had an English facility and you needed a horse that could go English and Western, or if you want to make a barrel horse out of this horse, he has a lot of speed. This horse goes back to King, I think, what was it, 8 or 9 times? He goes back to King 8 or 9 times. Super well bred, very unproblematic. He's been nothing but a sound, sane, fantastic horse. And we absolutely guarantee this horse in any way. If you purchase this horse through the Premier Auctions and you want to get reservations at a local hotel and come stay the weekend, ride this horse with us, come saddle him. We would love to have you. Vet checks are welcome before the auction. If you want to come here and try this horse out in person, we have no problems with that. You're going to get on him on the wrong side. Even he's like, what are you doing? This is new. Yep, that was new. But as you can see, what I love about him is even put into a situation where he's like, nobody's ever done this. He is not a panicker. He is not somebody that's gonna ever, watch me fall down on live over the dog. Come on, Skeet. Super, super broke horse. But I want y'all to see that he will ride off just as nice and soft in a bit. He has had his teeth floated. He's been tube wormed. He's had vaccinations, and he's seen the osteopath all in the last 30 days. All that's been done. He was supposed to have his feet done yesterday, and our farrier rescheduled, so he will get retrimmed. But Tylen will trot him off right here. Here comes a truck with some exhaust that kind of wants to be loud. Come here, dogs. I like that you guys get to see him out here. Tylen's gonna go trot him down the ditch. This truck has never even bothered to slow down. Didn't even try to slow down. Our neighbors are super classy, by the way. That horse never spooked. He never jumped. He is something that if you have a lot of commotion, you know, you're going to trail ride places that there's a lot going on and you're a nervous rider, this is going to be a good horse. He can take a nervous rider. If you're super nervous and you get on him, this horse will take a couple deep breaths and then ride off really soft for you, because he knows that you need him to be the brains. And we've laughed about that. Some horses, if you're super nervous, they get super nervous. They don't know why everybody's nervous. Pepper's not like that. He'll take a little breath and be like, okay, clearly you don't know what you're doing, so I've got to be extra safe for both of us. Yeah, that truck didn't even try to slow down. We have such good neighbors. I think they're the ones with all the pit bulls too, that are loose, that run. One of our neighbors has several pit bulls, and every time we trail ride, they like come running out at us, and they don't keep them in a yard. They don't keep them. Right there, Tylen was just using his seat to really kind of just, this horse has got such a nice walk, trot, and canter. Hey, Tylen, will you just bring him right here? That way they can see him turn around. He absolutely can come to Montana. If you guys, I think the bidding started today. So this horse is up for auction right now. Kay, Lori, both of you have asked him if he can come to Montana, if I can email you a price. He is for sale right now. You go to Premier Auctions, you register to bid. Bidding open today. He does have a reserve price. We can get him transported anywhere nationwide with absolutely no problems. And he is a super nice horse. He's 14.2 hands tall, and he's just a little bit over 1,000 pounds. He was right at, you know, with a little bit more muscle, he probably could weigh right at 1,100 pounds. He's actually a very stout horse, and he has great conformation. Again, we keep him barefoot, but you are more than welcome to put shoes on him. He's just a nice horse. Lori, you can register to bid on Premier Auctions, and that way we'll have some more people bid. Please slow down. Oh my God, you've got to be kidding. Like, why do they not get it? And speed up. Like, please, my dogs are...
When I start shooting their tires off.
I think we just need to get golf balls in our pocket. That sounds terrible, but it's just one set of neighbors down the road, and they just have, like, we ride around the block, and they have a herd of dogs that don't have any fencing. Now, my neighbors right here are fantastic across the street. It's a little group of people, and they have kids, and they're absolutely fantastic. But you go a little farther down, things get pretty sketchy. They really are, and it's important for us when we go ride to be on really safe horses. Peyton sold after we trail rode him, and that's the thing that made people really interested in Peyton, is that we could go ride Peyton anywhere with no problems, and the cars sped by, and the one guy kind of revved his engine, and Peyton and Moose both just take it. So when we ride off of my property, we have to make sure the horses are pretty good, because despite living in the middle of nowhere, there's a lot of people that aren't gonna slow down. They're just not. But this horse will be trimmed this week. The farrier rescheduled. Other than that, everything's up to date. Teeth have been floated in the last 30 days, tube wormed, osteopath. Everything is fantastic. Tylen, will you reach up, drop your bridle, and you can ride him back to the barn? Pepper's like, oh, I love that. Oh, that's nice. So yeah, he's got a little just a really easy way of going, and so that way you guys can see a little bit of everything. But bidding opened today. So bidding opened today. Pepper has papers in hand, transfer, and we'll just... Lori, yes, we will update the description of this video, and there is a reserve on Pepper. If he doesn't meet the reserve, he will be for sale privately. Again, if you purchase this horse, you are welcome to come here and see him prior to the auction ending Sunday. I believe Sunday or Monday is when it ends, the 19th. So I think that's maybe Tuesday. I'm sorry. I think it's maybe the 19th, but you just kind of just ride him down and around, and again, we're bridleless. So I want you guys to see that this is a horse that truthfully you can ride him everywhere bridleless. It doesn't have to be in a closed environment or a controlled environment. Very, very careful horse. One thing that we have all noticed with him is that he's a very careful horse. He's very careful. Lori, we can get him to Utah, no problem. We have transportation. We can even deliver, no problem if you wanted us to deliver, or we could help you find a transport service. Transport's anywhere from $1 to $1.50 a mile, depending on who does it. We could absolutely get him to Tennessee with no problem. Right here, Tylen will turn him around, and just going to turn him off the fence a little bit and show you guys that you can just do whatever. But he's not dog shy. He's not speeding car shy. You see my dogs run by him. If something runs up behind you, he's not going to grab his ass. He's not a horse that's going to spook out from under you. We can do lots of videos on my property here, but I wanted to show you guys out in the road where we don't have control of the cars. We don't have control of the environment out there. Lori, we can absolutely, we have transportation. We have transportation leaving for Montana and Wyoming on the 20th. He could catch that ride and you could meet them, or we could just get you a ride directly to your house. The reserve on this horse is, you know, I would say a little over mid to high 4 figures. So I don't feel like the reserve is a problem. Nice back up. Good job, buddy. All right, you guys. So you can just see that. And this is a horse that I think would be very easy for somebody to start on the barrels. I do not foresee this horse being an issue to start on the barrels. I really don't foresee him being a problem for somebody that has any horse experience. And if you are a beginner to a novice rider, I don't think you'll have any issue. We've never had a problem with Pepper. He has been very, very gentle. Yeah, he recognizes that we have moved the trail course. But he is just a really unproblematic little horse, and we'll just ride him around all this stuff blowing. And that way you guys can see he doesn't have any spook to him, and Tylen has control. He can turn him and weave him in and out of right here. The wind is blowing quite a bit and everything's moving, and good job, buddy. But all right, you guys. Monica, I will give you my contact information privately, but to bid, you will go on Premier Online Sales here on Facebook, and they have a link for you to be able to bid on him, which is fine. Tylen is just going to kind of weave him in and out of here. What I like is that you're getting to see that he really will turn both directions without the bridle. He's got to go potty, Tylen. Yep, turn him right there. And we can just weave him in and out of here, and that way they can see. And the wind is blowing. We actually have a storm brewing in. There we go. Yeah. There's a lot going on right here, which I really like that the wind is blowing and all the noodles are moving. We actually moved this trail course earlier to be able to mow a little bit. Yes, we'll be more than happy to message you. Go ahead. Yep. And he'll just ride him around. What I want you guys to see is that he's really unproblematic, and he can take him out here and just take him around the barrels and turn him each direction, and you can walk, trot, or lope, and the horse will really just be kind and have a big stop. That's one thing I can tell you is when this horse lope circles, he does have a really nice stop. And again, he has been roped off of. Prior to coming here, he doctored a lot of calves. I know the barrels are down, but more than anything, I just want you guys to see that he really does have control of him with no bridle. All right, you guys, Pepper is super unproblematic. He's really, really gentle and safe. He is on auction on Premier Online Sales. You can bid. He is 14 2 hands tall. He's over 1,000 pounds. He was just shy of 1,100. I will be more than happy to message both of you the link. You just registered a bid, and once you registered a bid, you can bid there. He does have a reserve. If he doesn't meet the reserve, he'll be for sale privately. But I will tell you that when I set the reserve on Premier, I was not riding him bridleless, and I wasn't quite as proud of him as I am now. So it's better to buy him on there, because I promise the reserve on there is actually a little bit less than what I'd like to take. So if he doesn't meet the reserve there, he actually will be more expensive privately. We have just really grown to love this horse, and we've gotten to where we have a lot of respect for him because he is such a kind horse, and all of our kids can ride him. Tinley's 3, his daughters are 4 and 5, and they can absolutely ride him anywhere.